dark psychology, there is a rule. To break a person's will, you must first bypass their logic and trigger their primal fear. Right now, as you stand in that office, your boss is doing exactly that. Their face is a shade of red you didn't know existed. Veins are bulging in their neck like high-voltage power lines. They're using raw volume to scramble your brain, screaming, not just to correct a mistake, but to psychologically annihilate you. You can feel the heat of their breath. You see your coworkers staring out of the corners of their eyes, silently relieved it's not them in the crosshairs today. Your heart is hammering against your ribs, and your brain is screaming at you to apologize or run. Listen to me. It is not your fault. You are simply under a biological spell. If you want me to break down your specific case, write it in the comments, and I will analyze it for you. But today, I'm going to give you the slow blink, a psychological magic pill that requires 0 words and will stop a screaming boss in their tracks forever. And if you stay until the very end, I will reveal the master key, the one secret these corporate predators are terrified you'll discover. Listen carefully. If you feel small or helpless right now, it's not because you are weak. You are experiencing a biological hijacking. Your boss isn't just talking. They are performing a ritual of dominance designed to strip you of your status in front of the entire office. It is a calculated social execution, and I am here to give you the blade to cut the ropes. This technique requires absolutely 0 effort and not a single word spoken. It is a 100% guaranteed win. Do this exactly once, and I promise you, they will never ever raise their voice at you again. You are about to become the one person in this building they are actually afraid to provoke. Why do they do it in the open? Because of the jury. Your coworkers are watching. By screaming at you in public, the boss is sending a message to the entire room. I am the alpha. You are the prey. They are using your public humiliation as a tool to cement their own power over everyone else at their desks. The corporate executioner doesn't actually care about the spreadsheet, the deadline, or the client. They aren't looking for a rational solution or a way to fix the problem. They are looking for a sacrifice. They feel small, chaotic, and weak on the inside, so they need to project that chaos onto you to feel powerful again. This brings us to the poison. Auditory overload dominance. In dark psychology, this is a blunt force tool. By flooding your ears with high decibel aggression and rapid-fire accusations, they essentially crash your prefrontal cortex. You literally cannot think straight because your brain is too busy trying to survive the noise. Listen to the poison they spew. I don't care about your excuses. Why is this a disaster? Answer me. They demand an answer, but they won't let you speak. It's a paradox. It's a trap designed to keep you stuttering and stumbling while they keep swinging the hammer of their voice. In a fraction of a second, your brain floods your bloodstream with cortisol and adrenaline. Your palms sweat. Your vision narrows. Your nervous system is being forcefully pushed into one of 3 primal biological states: fight, flight, or freeze. This is exactly where the predator wants you. Most people think these are their only choices. You either yell back, you apologize while crying, or you stand there paralyzed. But the insider knows a 4th path, a path that doesn't just defend you, but completely hijacks the boss's nervous system and forces them into submission without you saying a word. If you choose fight and decide to yell back, you have already lost. You are now playing their game, on their turf. By matching their aggression, you validate their anger and prove that they have the power to control your behavior. You've just handed them the remote control to your emotions, and they will press your buttons every single day. If you choose flight or freeze, if you look down at the floor, start crying, or desperately apologize, you just signed your own psychological death warrant. You have signaled absolute, unconditional submission. You just told your boss and every coworker watching that you are officially permanent prey. Once you show that fear, the corporate executioner will feast on you whenever they feel stressed. You have become their emotional trash can. They know they can dump their rage on you without any consequences, and because the jury saw you break, they will lose respect for you too. You've become the office punching bag. This is exactly why trying to use logic is a fatal mistake. If you try to rationally explain the project delay or justify your actions to a screaming person, you are treating a brutal power struggle like a math problem. Logic doesn't work on an apex predator. It just makes them yell louder because they see your explanations as weak excuses. To defeat them, you must make an internal shift. Stop being the victim in their drama and become the scientist. You are no longer a person being yelled at. You are an observer watching a very loud, very fascinating biological anomaly. You are safe behind the glass of your own mind. This is the scientist's gaze. Look at them the way you'd observe a misbehaving monkey in a cage. You aren't angry. You aren't scared. You're just watching a primitive biological display of low-status behavior. When you see them this way, their roar starts to look pathetic, not powerful. Rule number 1 of the antidote: absolute silence. Do not utter a single syllable. Do not justify yourself. Do not attempt to apologize. And absolutely do not tell them to calm down. Any word you speak gives them something to latch onto. You must starve them of audio feedback. You are a black hole for their noise. Rule number 2, unbroken eye contact. But I don't mean an aggressive, challenging glare. If you glare, you are fighting back, which means you care. You must give them a cold, dead, deeply relaxed stare. Your eyes should be focused on theirs, but your mind should be elsewhere. Perhaps counting the buttons on their shirt. Check your facial muscles. If your brow is furrowed, you are showing stress. If your jaw is clenched, you are showing anger. You must let your face go completely loose. This sends a deeply unnatural biological signal to the boss. You are not a threat to me. I am so unbothered that my body is literally relaxing while you scream. Visualize the energy vampire. Deep down, this boss feels out of control. They're screaming to try and steal your energy to fill their own empty tank. They literally feed on your rising heart rate and your panic. By staying silent and relaxed, you are cutting off their food supply. You are letting them starve in the dark. Now, you must wait for the crescendo. As they yell, they will try to escalate to get a reaction out of you. Let them. Let them reach the absolute peak of their screaming fit. Do not interrupt their build-up. Let them spend all their energy climbing to the very top of their anger. The trap is now set. It's time to execute. This taps into a deeply manipulative psychological concept known as biological boredom. The ultimate insult to a predator is not fear, and it is certainly not anger. The ultimate insult to a predator is profound, overwhelming indifference. By bypassing the fight or flight response, you are proving that their threat level to you is absolute zero. And then the climax hits. They reach the peak of their rant. They inevitably run out of breath. The verbal assault stops, and a heavy silence fills the office. Every coworker is holding their breath. The boss is staring at you, chest heaving, absolutely starving for your reaction. This is your moment. Instead of reacting, instead of defending yourself, you look them dead in the eye and you execute the slow blink. This is the psychological magic pill. This is how you shatter their ego and steal their dominance in absolute silence. It starts right now. At the very peak of their screaming, when they stop to take a breath and wait for your panic, you do not look away. You do not flinch. Instead, you slowly, deliberately close your eyes for exactly 2 full seconds. 1, 2. You are choosing to enter total darkness in the face of their rage, and then you open them just as slowly. When your eyes reopen, you're looking right back into theirs, maintaining the exact same relaxed, entirely emotionless facial expression you had before. Nothing changed. You didn't move an inch. You are completely, terrifyingly unbothered by everything they just said. Think about the biological message you just sent. In the animal kingdom, when a predator roars, the prey widens its eyes in panic. Prey rapidly scans the room for an exit. By willingly shutting your eyes in the face of a direct threat, you are signaling absolute, terrifying fearlessness. Only a higher, more dominant apex predator acts this board. The moment you do this, you trigger a massive wave of powerful cognitive dissonance in their brain. Their anger desperately demands a fight-or-flight reaction, but your biological boredom silently proves to them that their threat is absolutely meaningless. Their brain crashes like a computer encountering a piece of code it doesn't recognize. Watch their body language shift. The predator's illusion instantly shatters. The inflated, aggressive posture will suddenly collapse. They will likely stammer, their volume will dramatically drop to a normal speaking voice, and they might even take a physical step back from you. They have been entirely disarmed by your silence. But the most satisfying part? The jury? Your coworkers have just witnessed the ultimate status reversal. They didn't see a boss winning an argument. They saw a child having a tantrum, and an adult who didn't even find it interesting. In their eyes, you are now the most powerful person in the room. But let's troubleshoot the final test. What happens if they get confused by your sudden silence? What if they drop their volume and awkwardly ask, "Are you even listening to me?" This is their last-ditch effort to pull you back into their frame. They are desperate for a fight, an apology, anything to stop the awkwardness. Do not explain the blink. Do not get defensive. Simply give them a slow, single nod, and in the calmest, softest voice imaginable, say 2 words. I am. That's it. No explanation, no justification, just the cold, hard truth delivered with the volume of a whisper. But here is the most crucial rule of the aftermath. You must remain completely stone-faced. Do not smile. Do not smirk. A smirk implies you are playing a game or trying to be clever. A blank, dead face implies terrifying, undeniable superiority. Let them drown in the unbearable weight of your indifference. The extreme contrast between their screaming and your quiet volume entirely solidifies your power. By whispering, you force the apex predator to lean into your space just to hear you. You have successfully hijacked the physical dynamics of the room. You aren't reacting to their noise, they are reacting to your silence. The permanence of this technique is terrifying. You have rewritten their subconscious file on you. Their primitive brain now irrevocably associates yelling at you with deep, humiliating cognitive dissonance. Their ego will refuse to feel that level of embarrassment a second time. They will never raise their voice to you again. This move is also your ultimate HR insurance. You technically did nothing. You didn't yell, you didn't use profanity, and you didn't leave your post. You simply listened and blinked. If they try to complain about you, they have to admit that they were screaming and you were too calm. They will look like the villain every single time. The person who truly controls their own nervous system will always seamlessly control the entire room. You do not need to be the loudest person to be the most dangerous. Master your biology, and you master everyone who tries to use their emotions as a weapon against you. Warning: this is a surgical tool. Use it only against those who use aggression to bypass your boundaries. It deeply embarrasses the ego of the aggressor because it forces them into submission without a fight. You have mentally destroyed them while maintaining perfect professional decorum. And now, for those of you who stayed until the end, here is the master key. If your heart is racing too fast to stay calm, use the anchor. While they are screaming, curl your toes inside your shoes as hard as you can. Focus entirely on the physical sensation in your feet. This grounds your nervous system, pulls your blood out of the panic center of your brain, and allows you to execute the slow blink with total, genuine indifference. Master your feet and you master your mind. Stay cold.